News reporter Love Junious is live in our Washington, D.C. bureau with details and reaction. Love?
Like so much in this administration, news that the president wanted to reinstate the transgender ban first came in a tweet. It was quickly challenged in several different lawsuits, but a federal court this week removed the last roadblock, and Congress has not been able to stop the new ban on transgender military service.
That is this much. Fentanyl is often mixing with other opioids or pressed into a pill and passed as prescription. Clother says you can't tell the difference between street or legal with the naked eye.
If stung, Dyke says the best way to get the stinger out is by swiping a card away from the direction it came in. We vote pro-life. It was just one of hundreds of signs carried by the tens of thousands who showed up at today's March for Life. For many, like Arizona State University alumna Cheryl Kubak, the pro-life movement is a civil rights movement.
This is the largest and longest sustainable march for civil rights that is consistent year after year after year.
46 years so far. That's how long it's been since the Supreme Court Roe v. Wade decision recognizing a woman's right to an abortion. The theme of this year's march, unique from day one, focused on details of fetal development that were not available when Roe was decided. For people like Arizona resident Katie Breck, it shows that science is on their side.
Everyone can see the babies in the womb and their heart beating and their feet and legs and arms moving. And I think that pro-life centers are outnumbering abortion facilities.
Here in Washington, D.C., people all over the country, including Arizona, are here to support the end of abortions. As you can see behind me, March for Life, people are chanting and singing to end abortions.
From there, a diverse crowd of all ages marched down Constitution Avenue to the Supreme Court. It was mostly a joyous gathering, but there were some moments of passion too. Marchers like Breck say that comes from being extremely passionate about the unborn.
They deserve life and that it should not be legal in our country and that Planned Parenthood should absolutely be defunded.
Kubak says the annual march is important, but the fight still needs to continue.
You know, it's really up to the people to keep fighting and not just depend on this one march, to keep moving forward, to create awareness throughout their community.
Washington, Love Junious, Cronkite News.
Austin Bundy, thank you for joining us. Filing may not be a happy experience for most, but it may not be as painful this year as some had feared.
Cronkite News reporter Love Junious explains from our Washington bureau.
As if taxes isn't already bad enough, experts this year were expecting the worst. Tax filers were grappling with their first full year under the new tax law. A government shutdown hit just as tax season was heating up. But what could have been the perfect storm has shaped up as anything but, says Pete Sepp, president of National Taxpayers Union.
Tax refunds appear to be processed at this point in a relatively timely manner compared to other seasons, and interestingly, they are almost the exact same average amount as the previous filing season.
Christine Freeland, president of National Society of Accountants in Arizona, agrees.
Refunds are in the normal time range. They tell you anywhere from 7 days to 21 days, and once in a while somebody doesn't get theirs as quickly, and it's usually because they're involved in earned income credit.
Statistics from the Internal Revenue Service show that the number of returns filed at the end of March is down just slightly, 1.4%, from the end of March last year. The big changes are in the number of people going to the IRS website for help, up 10% this year, and the actual refunds are down by $6 billion, from $212 billion last year to $206 billion this year. The average refund is just down $20 to $2,873. Sepp says the IRS may have helped taxpayers' uncertainty over the new law.
Once the government reopened and tax season began, the rate of filing was slightly smaller in this season compared to the last one. Americans were still trying to figure out some of the ins and outs of the new tax law.
But he also points out that more Americans are filing for an extension beyond Monday's deadline.
It is important to point out that more Americans are filing for extensions than normal to prepare their returns.
If granted an extension, taxpayers will have an additional 6 months to file their tax returns, making their new deadline October 15th. In Washington, Love Junious, Cronkite News.